Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a different sort of announcement video because we need wards. I am Sylphan, ladies and gentlemen. We need wards. I am making this video because we need wards. There is way too many people running without wards in their builds, without that vision, without that advantage over the enemy team to keep you safe and make informed strategic decisions. We need wards. If you do not have a ward in your build, your final build, even and especially in the in your early game builds, you are wrong. Just flat out wrong. Okay? If you are not carrying a ward, you are wrong. Now there are some exceptions that we will go through. So, what is the point of this build? Well, it is to showcase to you guys that in all of my builds, I have wards. I have worked wards in. I spent three of my son's sleep cycles, so that's like 2 hours, well, an hour and a half times 3. That's 4.5 hours tweaking all of my builds. Some of them, like the exceptions, like I said, yes, don't have wards. But I spent 4.5 hours tweaking my build so that they all have wards. Some of them didn't, and if I am going to say that you were wrong if you aren't using wards, I have to do it myself. There is a ward for everyone. Get them. So, the very first thing, you must get a ward in the first 9 card points. Okay? So in the very first, the very first 3 card points of the game, I just recorded a Gandalf video, I got my health potion and 2 cast tokens. Why this way? Because I just freeze my lane, get my teleport as my first ability, and play it safe. These 2 cast tokens give me more damage than this Magus ward, so helps me with last hits better, plus a health potion obviously keeps me alive. Plus the teleport, pretty safe from ganks. Immediately when I return to base with 6 card points, they all go into this ward. All 1 point upgrades, so that in my first 9 card points, I have 10 card points of value. This you must do. On every build, I have the same thing. The Toad, a tank rampage build. I get probably the Brawler's Key right off the bat, and then at the first 6 card points after that, I fully upgrade this and go for my Brawler's Ward. The LT, a Burst Caster Belisha build. I get my apparently not 2 cast tokens, so in this case, I go straight for my Magus Ward. Get that right off the bat. Later on, you see there's a second one. I upgraded with one that has better. Let's see. We have a fighter build here with Chimera, a jungler build. Brawler's Key straight into this Guardian's Ward. Boom. I always have that ward. Grey Fox. Kalari build. You guys are getting sneak peeks of my build here. I think you get the point. You need that. Now, the second point, there is a ward for all builds. There's a ward for all builds. Look, a tank build. In this Guardian's Ward, I have it fully decked out with health to help me as a tank. Gandalf, this damage, high cooldown teleport build for Gideon, Magus Ward. A little bit of mana and a whole bunch of damage. I make it work. Captain Steel, even somebody that I want to have a whole bunch of actives with, I still get a ward. Guardian's Ward for the end of the game so that I can get at least 200 health out of it. There is a build for you. Make it work. Fairy Godmother, again, Magus Ward for a support. Sparrow. Now, I guess I can talk about the exceptions. Carries and a tank. Carries and a tank. maybe a tank in a pre-made if everybody's taken into account that your tank and your carry are not carrying wards. I guess you could make it work. Carries can get away with it. By the time you're gonna be replacing your beginner's ward anyways, you're going to be staying with your tanks, you're going to be doing more team fights, etc. You can see here that my end build here, Charging Brute, Swift Greek Heart, 2 kind of tanky damage cards, and then my 2 Windcarver Blades here, Windcarver Blade and the Blink Charm doesn't have a ward. The only exception. Every other freaking build here has a ward besides my carries. And one fighter build here, where is it? My Greystone, he becomes basically more of a tank here in this build, but he does a lot of damage because we were focusing on the critically wounded. He does not have a ward. Again, there are exceptions, but every other build here has wards. If you don't have a ward, besides those exceptions, you are wrong. So why do we need it? Why do we need that ward? Simply because, guys, ganks. In the early game, you need that early game ward to prevent ganks. Here, this Kalari would be I intend to use her as a mid lane hero, so that, in that mid lane, you definitely need wards. You can get ganked from both sides. She has excellent escapes, but still, you can use that on the side. We have a Harvester key so that if nobody's doing the Harvesters for some reason, we can get it. So when we are in the jungle, we can place our wards, get vision, enable you to stay in lane in that early game, to get that CP, to try to get an advantage over the enemy team. Not dying is much worse than just giving the enemy team card power. It also prevents you from staying in lane and getting that card power and experience as well. Okay, next one is Orb Prime. Orb Prime is on a 9-minute cooldown, 6-minute cooldown. Or the ward's on the Harvester's on 6-minute cooldown. Prime, whatever it is, 6 or 9 minutes. Very quickly, it's up and running. You need that. You need that ward. You need that ward for Orb Prime. People can take it, instantly get that orb for their team. You need that ward at Orb Prime. You have to do it. Black buff is up much more often as well, and with people getting punished so hard from not being in a proper defensive position to a lane that is getting pushed, somebody with black buff, that tower, that inhibitor is gone. So with that, black buff really needs to be warded as well, but especially Orb Prime. The third one that I'm going to mention is actually the real reason why you get a ward, ladies and gentlemen. For vision, so that you know where the enemy is. Information, so that you know where the enemy is and that how many there are, but you can just look up at the top of your screen. But more importantly, so that you can make strategically informed decisions. I see 3 of the enemy team on the left lane. I have this right lane pushed up quite a bit, and one enemy is dead. I'm pushing this lane. I'm pushing this lane hard, getting a tower pick or an inhibitor pick. I just come back from dying, and I see that 2 of the enemy are rotating through our jungle to the right lane. And they're gonna get a pick on that inhibitor. I'm going to go to right inhibitor. Our Chimera in our left jungle is getting ganked by 2 enemy heroes, and I see a third coming through the jungle to get on him. I'm going to go and help him with my steel. And I'm a Gideon. It's going to work really nicely. Strategic informed decisions from that vision is everything. There is a reason why intelligence in the military having observation, why recce's are so important, because information is everything. I think you guys get the point here. I'm just going through showing you all of these wards that I have in all of my builds, because there is absolutely no excuse not to make it work. Yes, I've had to replace some of my, cool active abilities or cards, and a key card that gives me just a little bit more cooldown reduction to bring me right to 40. Make it work. You can make it work. Hopefully, guys, you guys get the point. If you're not using a ward, you are wrong. Of course, those exceptions. Carries in a pre-made game, maybe a tank can get away with it as well, etc. Thank you guys for watching this. Hopefully this inspires you. Yes, I literally did. I'm not lying. 100%. I spent more time than that, actually, because, I was let him play. I let my son play, and I'm just kind of tweaking my builds. I spent probably more than 5 hours, ladies and gentlemen, no word of a lie, tweaking all of my builds. If I can do it, you can do it, and you definitely need to do it. Please like the video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it, share it with the community. Oh my god, share it with the community. Please post it on Reddit, post it on the forums. Spread this like wildfire, because we need as many community members to be spreading this, especially now in this patch, so that everybody has wards. Please subscribe if you like this content or you simply found it useful. Please subscribe so I can do it for you in the future. Till next time, like always, stay optimistic and positive.